Here are the 4 things we talked about with blogging. Let's go into some great examples of blogging for your personal brand. At the bottom, you'll see the link to get to this blog. The thing I like about this blog post is that the blogger, who's obviously a developer, talks about one of his passions. I want to know that the developer that I work with or hire is passionate about what they do. He says, I'm on a bit of a personal crusade against functions that return null. Allow me to soapbox a bit. I want you to be on your soapbox. I want to know that you're passionate about things that are or aren't working well. This blog post shows me that he cares about this stuff. And then down below, I see example of code. This is a great way for a developer to show other developers that they write clean code, that they have comments, all the things that you would want to see in somebody's code if it's well done. I'm sure you've seen Jeff Atwood's blog. It's one of the most popular programming blogs out there. I like a lot about Jeff's blog. One thing I wanted to point out on the left-hand side was the recent blog posts. Somebody might come to a certain blog post of yours, it might even be a few years old. But when they come to that blog post, you can show them other blog posts that they might be interested in, whether that's based on popularity or when it was written. Another example of a plugin or a widget like that is on Steven's blog. On the left, you'll see his blog posts. On the right are 3 different widgets that I like. The first is the popular articles. Again, if you've written cool stuff, let people find it easily. Below that are your categories. Typically, I'll see a lot more than 3 categories on a blog. Remember in the last module when we talked about blogging, I said that blogging was a great way to show your professional breadth and depth? Well, the categories is the framework for that breadth and depth. In other words, if I wanted to see how deep Steven went with system administration, I could simply click on the system administration category. If he had 2 or 3 blog posts and they weren't that deep, I wouldn't be very impressed. But if there were dozens or maybe hundreds of blog posts about that and they went really deep, I would have a much better idea of his depth on system admin stuff. Right below that on the bottom right, you see the tag section. This is another way to slice and dice all the blog posts that he has. And it shows me that he's very interested in teaching people how to do things and not so much on Apache or some of those other things that have very small font. Make it easy for people to explore your breadth and depth and passion by things like popular articles, recent articles, categories, tags, etc.